This is the most obscene album that I own.
Cut down the altar!
That is so fetch.
I will be swapping a few choice words by this band just for the sake of this video, so do be prepared for that. Without further ado, let's get into this video. If you are not familiar with Poop Fricker and their album Suck Popsicles in Hell, this is their debut album. Poop Fricker released this album in 2013 on Halloween. Now, this band is a black death thrash metal band with punk influences from Detroit, Michigan, and right now they are signed to Hell's Headbangers Records, who did release this album. This band is a trio with original members Demon Bitch on bass and vocals and Zyklon T on guitars. They have a newer drummer now that joined the band sometime in 2016, and he goes by the name of Python, but on this specific record, the original drummer goes by the name of Styx Chisler. You might also think that Demon Bitch looks familiar, and that is because he is also in the band Spider, which I did cover on my channel in a previous video where I actually listened to the entire record Bathe the Babes in Bat's Blood, which is also a Hell's Headbangers release. Spider is a later project that features Demon Bitch on vocals, but he is the only member from Poop Fricker who is in Spider. That record by Spider is a very good black punk record. It is perfect for Halloween. It definitely has the spooky vibe, so I would highly recommend that you check it out. I also want to say for the record that I had no idea that these two bands were connected in this way because of Demon Bitch until after I had listened to this specific record. So let's first talk about the music of Poop Fricker, because that really is the most important part of this video. Musically, this record is a bit all over the place, and that's kind of to be expected given the fact that this is such a mishmash of different genres. Like I said, it's a crossover band between black, thrash, and punk. I'd say this record is a lot more punk forward than anything else. The record begins with an eerie instrumental called Satan to Sanity that sounds like it came out of a Terminator movie. Then we get into the actual bread and butter of the record, which Smash Your Skull Against the Wall is the first actual track of this record, and it's quite an interesting track to smash your skull against the wall to. The drums are punk. The vocals are Goblin Immortal style vocals, and the guitars have this kind of southern twang obituary style to them. This vibe continues throughout the record with tracks like track number 4, Sex Dungeon, which is immediately punk black beats against these vocals that sound like they were recorded in a tin can, definitely capturing this like classic black metal woodshed vibe to it. The record almost sounds like it's a bootleg trying to be a professional recording. The production is so bad on this record. It's extremely rough to listen to, even on my really nice speakers, which I will be showing you a vinyl record player setup tour very soon. So I'm not working with cheap speakers here, girl. Okay, I'm not working with a cheap system, and this record was. That being said, I know that this is intentional. This band wants to raw dog it, and I think that is the best way to describe this sound. There's one review on Metal Archives titled "It's Shitty in the Best Way," and I have to agree but disagree. It's like they had one mic to record the entire room of them playing. The vocals of Sex Dungeon are all over the place. And of course, the entire song is about chaining up some poor woman and doing some interesting things to her. The redeeming factor of the song is the ooze in the chorus right before they sing the lines Sex Dungeon. I felt like those were really fun and definitely would be something that would sound really good live, a very good crowd interaction type thing in a live setting. Track 5, Acid Bath, features a little interlude in the beginning that basically asks the listener, do you want to dance? I thought that was fun. Track 7, Go to Hell, is extremely muddy. The drums and everything are so like maxed volume that I was just envisioning the like the sound, bars in the actual studio just like redlining the entire time. It was very hard to distinguish like what was actually happening in the recording and what was actually being like played and heard and everything. Honestly, all of the songs just kind of mesh together and sound the same. There's not a lot of diversity between the tracks. There's not a lot of elements that really make certain tracks stand out. And it's extremely repetitive. There's, like I said, very little diversity with the tracks, at least in my opinion. There are some nice moments of group vocals in some of the songs here, which, like I said, would really add to the live experience for this band, but it's few and far between. Track 9, I Am the Devil, features a church bell that starts off the song with a slow buildup that feels like something out of a Deicide album. It opens up to this kind of swampy, groovy beat that progresses into this weird circus of mishmash sound, and I don't really know how it develops. But it's just this kind of weird, slow ballad sounding thing, and it's just a little weird for me. The song then ends kind of anticlimactically before it goes into yet another instrumental track that ultimately ends the record. Now let's talk about why this album is the most obscene album that I own. But first, I want to make myself clear, okay? I am not a softie when it comes to gore, sex, mutilation, and torture or offensive symbolism in metal covers, lyrics, etc. I know that this band, Poop Fricker, is a joke band. I got that feeling from the very beginning. A Poop Fricker just wants to have fun. They want to get rowdy on stage and with each other, and they just want to be extreme. And at first, this band gave me the same vibe that I got with deathcore outfit Infant Annihilator. If you're not familiar with Infant Annihilator, they are known for not only their extreme lyrics, but also their kind of disgusting and funny and jokey music videos and stuff like that. It's kind of a known thing that it's like a joke band that's very extreme, but they don't take themselves seriously. But where Infant Annihilator got it right was that they followed up this kind of joke band aesthetic that they had with great instrumentation, great production, and really great album art and branding. Now, the latter might not seem like it's the most important, but it's pretty important when you consider the fact that most metalheads base actually listening to an album and maybe even purchasing an album just on the cover alone. And I by no means am saying that a band can't be ridiculous and can't be a joke band and be taken seriously and make extreme music. I mean, it's metal. It can be whatever it wants to be. And there is always going to be a market for that. Let's just start with the elephant in the room and talk about the logo on this album, which looks like a Nazi symbol. Please don't come for me, YouTube. Now, this is not an actual Nazi symbol. If you look at this logo, it features an S and an F crossed over to make it look like a Nazi symbol. Now, the S and the F is obviously an acronym for the band name, which I'm not going to say what it is, but now you may see this now and you may get offended, and I would think that that's fair because you are entitled to your own opinion and your own feelings. Now, you may also look at this and think that it's a total joke, and I would think that's also fair because you are entitled to your own feelings and your own opinion. I am not a person who gets offended easily. I am not a person who sees this and gets offended. I am the person that sees this and I think, why? Who approved this? Why? What's the purpose? What's the reasoning? Because of the shock value? Sure, but why not just do a regular satanic symbol like most other metal bands do? Maybe a goat's head? I don't know. Why this symbol? Similar to how bands put satanic imagery on an album, Obviously, not every single band that does that is a Satanist. A lot of them are Christians or whatever it may be. It's either following a trend, or it's what they believe in, or if it's their branding, or it's a piece of art that is, yes, both shocking and offensive, but it looks cool. It's a piece of art. This is not really a piece of art in comparison to most albums that we see. And I wouldn't exactly say putting a fake Nazi symbol on the cover of your album is necessarily following a trend either. So if they don't truly believe in the ideology, then the only option left is that they're putting this design on their record because it's completely on brand with their band. Me, it honestly comes across as very tasteless. I think that's exactly what they're going for. So in that regard, I think they succeeded. It only took me reading one article on an interview with this band back in 2013 when this record was released for me to realize that Poop Fricker is just full of perverted degenerates. And you might think that that is really harsh of me to say, but honestly, I don't think it is. And I honestly think that the band members in Poop Fricker would take it as a compliment and they would agree with me. The article down below if you're interested in reading it and forming your own opinion. Now, all of that said, yeah. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, that's what's in this record. And I don't mean cartoon ones. I mean real ones. Like I said, this band is full of perverted degenerates, and they are actually blacklisted at a lot of venues in Detroit, Michigan, just because at least one person is going to either show their or get fully naked on stage. It's even mentioned in the article. Okay. And this display of nudity was not only confirmed in the interview, but it was also confirmed with the album art in actual photographs within this vinyl booklet. The first picture that greets you in this record when you open it up is Styx Chisler getting his member deep-throated by Demon Bitch. Demon Bitch is the singer of Spider, and Styx Chisler is their old drummer. Styx Chisler's getting his member deep-throated by Demon Bitch. Demon Bitch. Balls deep. And whether or not that is a prosthetic, I have no idea. And you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. At the same time, though, that Styx Chisler is getting sucked off, he is also holding Zyklon T's lovely member. Quite hard, I might add. Quite the sight to see. A lot of dicks. A lot of sexual deviancy. The back of this vinyl features another pic with Styx Chisler holding his actual in his hand with a knife in the other hand. And ladies and gentlemen, this did not look soft. Yeah. One redeeming factor of this entire debacle was the actual color of the vinyl, which I think honestly fits perfectly with the entire degeneracy of this band. I love this color. I'm obsessed with this color. It reminds me of Ariana Grande's Thank You Next music video. It's extremely feminine. It's extremely pretty and just it's perfect. And I love it because it is such a complete contrast to this entire record. Like, this color does not match anything that is in this record. Like, you would expect, looking at the album cover, that this vinyl would be like a blood red or even just a standard black or something like that. You would not expect it to look like a feminine, beautiful darling such as this. When opening the vinyl, I think it truly represents the entire vibe that Poop Fricker is going for. And I think if Poop Fricker's entire brand and band identity is to be as obscene and to be a troublemaker and to be as perverted as possible, then I think they honestly succeeded in doing exactly that on this record. Overall, I would give this record a 6.2 out of 10. I think if the production was better and there was more diversity in the tracks, I would have given it a higher score. But with the production being as poor as it is, and with there being such a lack of diversity with the tracks, and for the album art and the photographs within it being as obscene and tasteless as they are, in my opinion, I don't really see myself listening to this record very often, other than to either giggle at how ridiculous the photos are or to drool over how beautiful the vinyl color is, because it's definitely the most beautiful vinyl that I have in my collection to date. However, that being said, I applaud Poop Fricker for staying true to themselves and not bowing down to society's norms of trying to tame themselves and their personalities, but also for their band. It's admirable that the underground music scene has grown so much that we can have bands such as this have the freedom to create music like this and release records such as this, with record labels backing it up and eager to release vinyls and have fans eager to purchase them and listen to them. So Poop Fricker, I admire your dedication to your perverted degeneracy, and I hope you are proud that I am putting your record as the most obscene metal album that I own. Please make more albums that color, please. I will buy every single one of your records if you have matching vinyls that look similar to this, because this is gorgeous. This, I mean, does it not match my entire brand and vibe myself? Like, it's like the epitome of sexuality. And I think that that's also what's just perfect about it for this record, honestly, because that's their whole shtick. Obviously, this is all just my opinion, so I highly encourage you to go and listen to this record and form your own opinion. If you are interested in actually purchasing this vinyl or looking at more records in this catalog, I will leave a link down below to the Hell's Headbangers site where I purchased this vinyl, so you can do your own research. And I had a light go out. Girl, that's a sign. Let me know down below in the comments what you thought of today's video. Do you agree with some of my takes? Do you disagree with some of my takes? Have you been a fan of Poop Frickers? Have you seen them live? What was that like? I would love to hear your thoughts. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.